The Maxim machine gun changed the battlefield, but this change did not happen suddenly. People were amazed by the high rate of fire of the machine gun, and also considered how to use this new weapon on the battlefield. The famous tactics of enfilade fire and flanking fire were very successful, but with success also came failure. The Russian Maxim machine gun used in fortifications was an unsuccessful experiment. In the late 19th century, Russia decided to purchase Maxim machine guns for combat. In May 1895, they planned to purchase machine guns from England to install in the fortresses in the west. These machine guns were not cheap, costing about 2,830 rubles each at the time, not to mention the cost of ammunition. Therefore, the first batch only purchased 174 machine guns, and negotiations were later made to produce them domestically at a cost of about 1,700 rubles, including fees paid to the Vickers Company. The over 100 machine guns purchased in 1895 were all of a model installed on small two-wheeled carriages. These machine guns were used in two types of tactical experiments. Some were issued to infantry to form machine gun units for mobile operations, similar to the tactics seen in movies where soldiers are seen pushing machine guns forward. And there was also a type of machine gun unit equipped with the M1905 Fortress machine gun, used by cavalry. The appearance of the Fortress machine gun had its practical considerations. Unlike infantry, cavalry focused more on high-speed combat. How could the powerful machine gun keep up with the advancing pace of the cavalry? Similar to the earlier Maxim machine gun, the Fortress machine gun was mounted on a larger two-wheeled carriage. The wooden wheels had a diameter of about 1.22 meters, a width of 1.26 meters, and a towing bar about 1.6 meters long, which could be lowered to stabilize the gun when stopped, and it had a seat for the gunner. The weapon was, of course, a Maxim machine gun, equipped with the necessary ammunition and water containers. The firing height was about 1 meter, and the machine gun's elevation angle was between -15 degrees and 15 degrees, with a narrow horizontal firing range of about 40 degrees, due to the armored shield. The Fortress machine gun had a large rectangular armored plate providing frontal protection, to protect the gunner from light weapons damage. The Fortress machine gun, with all its components including the shield, weighed nearly 300 kilograms, roughly equivalent to towing a small to medium caliber field gun. The machine gun was typically transported by horses in marches, especially for flanking maneuvers to hit the enemy's flanks. It was deployed opportunistically on the battlefield, and could be moved to a new position by horse, but its design did not allow for firing while on the move. This method of using the machine gun did take into account the reality of cavalry units, but in testing, it did not perform very well. The military found that it lacked flexibility, as the carriage was only suitable for slow movement and could not keep up with the speed of the cavalry units. The Fortress machine gun was too large and stood out on the battlefield, making it an easy target, and even with its shield protection, it was quite dangerous. While it sounded simple to move from a fixed position to horse-drawn, in practice, it was quite cumbersome when operating as a unit in combat. In just a few minutes, it was enough for the machine gun to be riddled with bullets from the enemy machine gun. It was not so much the concept of the Fortress machine gun that was at fault, but rather the unreliable technology that could not achieve rapid marching and combat for the machine gun. However, the Russian military did learn from this, validating the use of dedicated machine gun units on the battlefield. During World War I, the Russian military used larger four-wheeled carriages to carry machine guns, which did not require stopping to deploy, and could provide fire support while on the move, which was very successful at the time. As for the Fortress machine gun, it was naturally phased out. After testing, the Russian military found that tripods and trailers with small wheels were more suitable for heavy machine guns, which also influenced the Soviet military, as seen in various movies and TV shows depicting the Soviet military towing machine guns.